Eagles going for 11 in a row, as the boys have said. 13 is their best effort in a row. Just percentage splitting them at the moment, with the Eagles having a game in hand. And
just hopping there quickly, Michael, 14 in a row is actually their best effort. An update on that.
Thanks, Ian Mogridge. Our information was 13, but I would never doubt your word. Umpire Richard Williams to get us underway. Top of the table clash, round 14, SANFL footy. Both ruckmen missed it. Slade the opportunity. Just keeps on paddling. He has been in outstanding form. Just boots it forward. Potter for the Eagles. Good kick. Finds Sikalala on the wing. Important that both teams get a good start. That kick just dying a bit. And Steinburner uses Graham with the short sleeves. We saw him in the long sleeves last week. Spots up Gowans. He kicks long. That's Chris Gowans to half forward. Fruin, fellow front and square. James Gowans, quick hands at the back. Pedler, good tackling. Would expect both these teams to really tackle hard. Bragging rights here and top of the table. Ball in a scrimmage. Umpire just allows it to continue. And we have a ball up just inside the 50, attacking 50 for Central District.
It's been a very tight start. You'd expect that with the blustery conditions, and Central's looking to use that wind advantage to get a couple of early goals.
Toya working hard in his defensive area. He slapped it on the boot. Swatala, a man breaking forward for Swatala was James Gowans. Potter couldn't quite grab it. Quick to get back on and happy to see it run over the line. A minute gone in the first term. No score at Woodville Oval, round 14 SANFL. And first versus second always conjures up some expectation. Merriman got it away. Well done, Colville to Mackenzie, who's kicked down the wing to a one-on-one. Thomas and Stokes. Thomas couldn't hold on. Hay back in the side today. Handball a bit fierce for Steinberg. Let's go to the Eagles bench and Mark Soderstrom.
Yeah, Michael, Peter Fiarchi, Luke Powell and John Florian in his 106th game, starting on the bench.
See the get well Kev there. Kevin Golding, ill in the Griffith Rehab Home, 40 years service, and that coach's box named after him. Let's hope he can get back on the very well list, as Luke Toya will boot the Eagles into attack.
Toya with the short pass, usually come off. It was only just the bare minimum distance. Westbrook lines it up, drives it long. One-on-one contest in the goal square. O'Hara has the ball knocked away. Steinburner gathers. Umpire calls play on. Spear finds some space. And eventually the hand pass comes out to Inkster. The turn from Inkster. He's in a lot of trouble. Still with possession. Managed to get it back. The snap came in from Westbrook, who put it there in the first place. And the Eagles had the opening goal.
Just had to tackle there as he came through. He just broke 2 or 3 tackles. The Eagles crowd calling. Here it is, see Inkster. No tackle there, and again managed to get the handball off, and then the great snap. But the Central District team just had to put a tackle on there. There's a couple of guys that missed. You see the bump coming in there from the side. Just a tackle in front of goal like that is just so important. And if that tackle was laid, I'm sure that goal wouldn't have eventuated.
How persistent was Inkster too. Sculler down, sharked by Mackenzie. To that man we spoke about just a second ago, Inkster, 2 left footers, so Hay could have gone with him. Inkster just threw it on the boot. Kick partially smothered, taken by Slade. Slade's kick to the wings, Potter in front, thought he got a nudge from James Gowans. Ball out of bounds. Let's go to the Central's bench, Mark Soderstrom.
Bradley Symes, Matthew Krieg and also Jason McKenzie, who will partner Paul Sculler as they take on Paul Lindsay and Brett O'Hara today.
And Roy Laird going down at ground level to have a look at things. Maybe things not right in the coach's box at a higher level. Westbrook, who kicked the first goal for the Eagles, couldn't get the handle. Bit of hard work done off the ball, and a free kick will go to Central's. Advantage rule paid, goes to Chris Gowans to Shell on the lead. Tumbling ball will just go out of bounds. Andrew throw in. Pretty hot pace so far. Tricky conditions though, Ben.
Yeah, it's been good. Pedler on Shell will be an interesting matchup to have a look at and keep our eyes on. Shell went up for a couple of ruck contests early from the boundary throw and left the square open. So whether or not he's playing a bit higher at the ground at centre forward like we predicted, we'll wait and see.
Interesting. Hall's got Coulter, so that's an interesting matchup. You wouldn't have thought that before the start of the game. Ball in the pocket for forward pocket for Central's. Toya, good tackle by Coulter. Umpire says, give it to me. Have a ball up.
You'll see Luke Tor on the bottom of a few packs today, I'm sure. Is that in and under player?
Ball down, Lindsay again. Nice little tap. Merriman just takes it over the line. Hall and Coulter, you would imagine that is an advantage for Centrals as we look at just the conditions around the ground. Very dusty and windy, and I imagine we're going to get worse this afternoon. Ball back into play. Lindsay went to ground. Potter trying to force it to the line and succeeded in the end. Out of bounds, another throw in. Ben, yes, Coulter and Hall, you would think that Centrals have engineered that matchup. Yeah, no doubt. I think that would, you know, whether or not that rings any alarm bells in the Eagles box just yet. I mean, they might wait and see how they go, but yeah, be a little bit worried about that one. Lindsay again. Here's Dew. First game this season for Centrals. Oh, and just away. Was online. He's been sent back to the SANFL from Port Adelaide. Try and find some confidence, and that was a pretty good start.
Stewie Dew couldn't get enough hook on it. Mackenzie kicks it to himself and goes long. Good kick. Just to a packed situation. Ball over the back. Spear off the ground. Foot race. A few speedsters there. Slade, Spear and Ware. Brilliant tackle. See Spear drop the footy. And Matthew Slade, one of the toughest tacklers in the business. Look at that, right at the hips, Matthew Slade. Terrific bit of work. He's got it on the wing, umpire called him to play on. Kicks it very high, over the back. Hall, down to Merriman, tackled by Hopwood, taken by Bello. Just kicks inside 50, Shell and Pedlar. All bounces just in front. Shell's very clever. Oh, just lovely collect. What'll he do? Try and dish it off. Handball to himself. Played for the free kick. Crowd said ball. It trickles out of bounds. Umpire says throw it in.
Just had a look there. And Daniel Shell, and saw there wasn't much to go for. He wasn't quite backing himself with the check side under that much pressure. And, yeah, good decision by the umpire letting it go.
Lindsay knocks it down. Very close to the line. Coulter sees it out. Another boundary throw in. Eagles by 5 points. 7 minutes, first term.
It's Coulter on screen. Missed a lot of football last year with broken jaw. Lindsay again. Bello roved it well. Now Gowans in traffic. Couldn't get the kick away. Eagles in, putting the pressure on, and we'll get another ball up. A little bit of niggle involving Gowans there, it looked like, but nothing untoward. James Gowans looking up, just taking numbers, I would have thought. In traffic against Slade, that looked high. Umpire comes in and signals too high. It was a pretty straightforward free kick to Slade. He was good last weekend, and he started this game well. Yes, he did throw the ball away, but he was taken high before that. And Slade against Port Adelaide, 19 kicks, 9 marks and 14 hand passes.
It's a pretty reasonable day in anyone's book, and looking to back it up this week.
From 25 metres out, just off the side of the boot, he's missed it, and that is not a good start for Centrals.
Looked very tentative the way he went back and approached that goal. Maybe a bit worried about the way the wind's taking it, but just needs to be a bit more certain, a bit more direct with the way he ran in and kicks that.
He's been averaging 21 possessions this year, Slade. Long kick out. Schooler couldn't take the mark. Very good below his knees, Schooler. It goes to Cowan. Cowan got it back to Bello. Bello's kick. Now Slade will fly! Lovely mark for a little man. Set himself for it, Ben Knights.
Watch that coming in from outside the 50, and there were 3 Eagles guys around that ball. You can see them there. There was actually one just back of screen as well, just to the right of screen. All, you know, waiting, and he just had his eyes on it the entire time as he goes back and makes no mistake with that. Puts Centrals into the lead for the first time today. But the Eagles guys, I mean, there's 3 or 4 much taller Eagles opponents, and they just had to at least put some, you know, some physical body presence, you know, around the footy, and not let him have that free jump at the ball. But oh well done to Matty Slade. Good jump, good grab, and well finished.
Here's the Centrals up by 2 points. They're kicking with a reasonably strong breeze to the right of screen. If you've just joined us, Schooler up and down without possession. And now we'll get a bounce, or at least a throw up. They're saying SANFL rules now. They've changed them. They've decided that there's no need to tax the central umpires by asking them to bounce the ball. So unless they're on an AFL list, those umpires will just throw the ball up and get play underway. Toya with a couple of great fends that would have made rugby league players proud. Ball inside 50 again. Passador leads the chase for the ball under pressure from Sibanela. Passador takes the ball out in the forward pocket for the Eagles. Coming back after missing 5 or 6 weeks with a hamstring. Mark Passador, still the Eagles' leading goal scorer. He has 20 for the season. Ball back into play in the forward pocket. O'Hara and Skua, who knocked it down well. Merriman swoops on it, couldn't get left foot to the ball, and now he's under pressure, under a lot of pressure. Could be holding the ball. Umpire instead, Richard Williams, will come in and throw it up. Well, it was a wrestle where it was declared a draw and play on. So Stokes at the bottom of the pack. And he, again, could be pinched for holding the ball. It's play on, and that's out on the full. And now Centrals will get a clean possession. Tim Inkster, the man, putting that on the full.
See O'Hara starting in the forward pocket for the Eagles, and that could be a tall option there. We see Mark Passador coming back from injury, and that hamstring looks pretty good. He gave it a bit of a test there, a bit of acceleration. So Passador looking for a big game today.
A little short pass dangerous. James Gowans got one for his trouble from Rugalo. But now, with possession, basically in the back pocket, swings the ball to the far side of the ground. That opens things up. Graham's over the top. He's on, and so's Ware in front of Graham. Ware now has 30 or 40 metres in front of him and territory to burn, and he is a quick player. Here's Ware. Goes direct inside 50. Prokopek was the player he was aiming for, or Coulter, in fact, it was the player he was aiming for. Coulter goes to ground, loses possession, and now the Eagles turn on the merry-go-round to take it down the other end.
Bit of rebound football in the hands of Stokes, who's got spear and a bit of space, and he's kicked it to the man over there in the blue jumper. Taken by Ware, long kick, inside 50, another inside 50, Shell at the back, thumped away by Hall. He's a grand defender, Stephen Hall. Just while there was a bit of a tussle, Hall just come in from the side, knocked it away.
And that's what he'll do all day with those long bombed-in footballs. He'll just jump across the pack, go the second man up for the Eagles, and thump it away from the contest and even out of bounds like that.
Westbrook running with Slade. Toya also the job. Shell knocked it down. Oh, hard Stokes. Merriman got it to Sikalala, who just got rid of it okay. Pedler taken by James Gowans. And the umpires have been letting it go. If they're going to do that, let's hope they do it all day.
Saw Daniel Shell jump over the top there again with that boundary contest. Good tackle there by Gowans. But I think Daniel Shell will help Schooler out there with those jumping over the top on the forward line. Ruckman
finding it difficult in the swirly conditions to get a good run at the football from the ball up. Good mark by Quinton Graham. Graham's kick toward Arthur Cowan. Just over his fingertips. Colville. Also Gowans, good contest that. Potter, we know he gives 100%. Ryan Potter, a tough customer. Ball up, a couple of kicks from Centrals. Schooler knocked it away. Colville cleverly out the back to Stokes. Westbrook, fresh air shot. Gowans, handball looking for the brother. Sikalala put the body in. Stokes to Hall, he's about to get nabbed. Wobbly old kick taken by Rugalo.
Lovely handball.
Just set up Merriman. Merriman kicks toward the O'Hara-Sibanala contest. It was a good one too. Front and square. Steinbrenner to Thomas. Lovely kick to Chris Gowans to Swatala. They're dangerous in this situation. Kick not good. No one can take the mark. Sikalala over the back quickly to Hall, who just threw it on the boot. Spear needs a good bounce and gets one. Just quickly threw it on the boot. Got a call from Toya. Toya needed a good bounce, didn't get one. Boundary throw in.
Could have done a bit more with that little snap. He just needed to steady and get that on, and then Lucy Toya would have been in the clear. You can see that dark cloud coming across from the west, and you'd assume that something's going to happen there a bit later on.
Well, nothing happening in there, in tight. Then Hall grabbed it, kicked it long. Contest won by Hopwood at half-back, or actually centre wing. And will he get 25? He won't. Squares it immediately. Steinbrenner in a bit of space. drives it in towards centre-half forward. A lot of balls coming off the outside of the boot so far. Ball into centre-half forward, almost marked by Gowans. Coulter picks it up, drives it high and long. Chris Gowans comes against the tide, came Westbrook with the thump. Toya took out Shell, didn't worry about the ball. Now Shell has possession, farms it off inside. Not to a teammate though. Sikalella was clever. Around the corner found Merriman, or Westbrook, Merriman I think it was, and then off Colville, off one step down towards centre wing. Well done O'Hara, latched onto it basketball style, just couldn't keep a hold of it for the mark, and eventually ball up inside the centre square, and a free kick inside the centre square. Rugolo, the man with two jumpers on, quickly. How wide he goes to Spear, he's got some space. Interesting battle between Spear and Ware on that wing. Goes into centre half forward with the kick, that's holding behind the pack. McKenzie was taken out of it, and he will take a free kick. And you would think he'd struggle for distance from this sort of area.
Yeah, it'll be a tough kick into that breeze, and like we said, it's a pretty strong breeze. I was just watching from when the footy was down the Central District's forward pocket there. Luke Toyer and Matty Slade having a bit of toe-to-toe, and I reckon Luke Toyer has taken the angry pills today. He's trying to run into everyone and have a crack at anything he can see. So
here's McKenzie having a crack from 50, and he only half-kicked that, deliberately so, I think, to the top of the square. Gowans will rush it through in the end for the minor score, and that just brings the Eagles within 1 point.
It's a smart kick, a very smart kick, Neil. Sorry about that. That he, just popped it up about 15, 20 metres out, rather than knowing that he probably couldn't make the distance, rather than bombing it to the actual goal line where it could be punched through easily. Put it at the top of the square. Very sensible.
Ball burster by Tyson Hay. Free kick. The comeback. And it will go to Chris Gowans. Let's have a look at this one, Ben.
Definite free kick.
Long kick. Good mark, Shell, out in front of Pedler. Ditches off to Ware. Ware looking for Coulter on the lead. Hall at the back. Sikalella, we've seen him do this plenty of times during this season. Justin Sikalella, very cool to Westbrook. He loves to mop up, does Sikalella. Westbrook's kick is a pretty ordinary one, and James Gowan takes a gutsy mark in the middle of that pack. Thought about going to Bello. Goes into the middle to Hopwood, who loves to run forward. Hopwood just gets the kick away to the lead of Dew. Out in front of Sikalella, Stewie Dew will kick from 25, slight angle. He's on a perfect position to draw this one through for a left footer.
That's such a great kick by Heath Hopwood there. He really surmised the, what was going on, and under a fair bit of pressure, just popped the kick, bit of air, knowing the breeze would take it, and put it out in front. And unfortunately, we're waiting the goal umpire. No, fortunately, fantastic kick from that pocket. Stuart Dew using the breeze to advantage to bend it back, and slides another one through for Central Districts.
Lovely kick by Stewie Dew. Takes it out to 7 points.
I don't know about that kick, Ben.
You don't think so?
Oh, well. The goal umpire had a good view. Let's have a look.
Well, you don't get much closer, Neil.
It was very close. Well, Centrals by 7 points. Remembering, though, they've got the breeze. Toya with those angry pills runs through the middle and doesn't take possession again. This time O'Hara takes McKenzie. That would be McKenzie from Centrals to the ground.
Are they performance-enhancing pills, those angry pills, Ben?
I don't think we can talk about that this present day and age, can we? I don't think he's a cyclist anyway.
Ball punched forward by O'Hara. Graham, he's about to be nabbed, just got the hand pass away. Steinburner was the target. He's got Thomas in front of him, goes to the side to Graham. Now Thomas will get it in the chain. Thomas over the top into Coulter. He'll swing onto the left foot, drives it in long. Another awkward mistimed kick, but it proved effective. Chris Gowans inside 50 with the mark. Matthew Stokes just
clip
a little worse for wear.
Eh?
He did cop one across the nose, did he? Didn't notice that in the play.
Yeah, just a little clip from the player running past, which I'm all too familiar with.
So Chris Gowans, the more accurate of the two Gowans boys when it comes to goal kicking, and as we see that time, very accurate. Lead is out to 13 points for Centrals.
Like Michael Mahoney said at the start of the game, I think it's going to be an old-fashioned shootout today. And obviously Central's a little bit of advantage with the wind, but that just looks the way it's going. It's a fast, free-flowing game. The skill level's been pretty good considering the blustery conditions, and I think it's just going to be an absolute shootout.
Been a bit of a surprise move here. Heath Hopwood's been dragged from the ground and had a bit of a chat to the coaching staff on the bench, and Matthew Krieg on.
Just one more possession to Central's, 48 to 47, but been inside 50 14 times to 3.
Well, if you get dragged off, if you're a Centrals player today, you get to stare Roy Laird right in the face because he's right down in the box down at ground level. Brugalo, handball chopped off. They work pretty hard, Centrals. Also working hard, Mackenzie. Good hip and shoulder by Chris Gowans. Kicked off the ground by Spatala. Bello got it back to Krieg. Now Krieg's got to try and centre it up. Looking for Shell. Shell's in good position. Can't take the mark. Dewey Dew over the body. Just missed. Over the body or around the body? I think it might have been around the body, Ben.
The body? I'll tell you what,
behind.
It's tough. Very tough to snap the ball back that far, and Stewie Dew has snapped it a little bit too far.
Too much hook.
You've been working on that American accent, Benny.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Give him his dues. Mackenzie to bring the ball back in. And O'Hara comes from behind with a good mark. Did very well to get over the pack. With the wind, that ball would have been dropping quickly. The hand pass has gone off, and now down at Inkster. He's still at half back for the Eagles, trying to work the ball systematically down the ground. Colville makes space. Now they're at centre wing. Trial by 14 points. We're into time on in the opening term. Colville's long kick, looking for Lindsay resting up there across half forward. That wasn't a hand pass, but it found Spear anyway. Toya was the man. Was trying to push off, and then the ball just popped out in the direction of Spear. He was tackled. We'll get another ball up. Give that one to Mackenzie. Matters little. Ball's only travelled about 5 yards before we get another ball up. Stalemate at half forward right for the Eagles. Lindsay over the top. And again, we'll get another ball up. Break it up, Michael.
Central's winning the toss and kicking to right of screen with about a 3 to 4 goal breeze, so they probably haven't taken full advantage. Westbrook just kicks it, a wobbly old kick. Passador, handball of sorts to himself. Snapped up by James Gowans. Working very hard on the outer side of the ground, Tyson Hay. Good work by Mackenzie, good body work, sets up Ware. Who sets up Krieg? The Bulldog machine away. They can run the footy down. Long kick by Krieg. Hall. Stuart Dew. Didn't get into the contest. Too strong, Stephen Hall. The kick looking for Colville and finding him. Don't mind seeing that matchup, Dew versus Hall. Yeah, good one. A terrible kick. Cowan. Wrapped up by Pedler. It was a handball. Just looking away for a second. There's Ronnie Fuller. Not a good handball by Colville. O'Hara down to Fruin. Sikalella. A bit of space, Fruin. Looking for Stokes, who's recovered from that hit on the beak. Taken by Slade. Kick off the inside of the boot. Spear didn't go the ball, just wanted some body contact. Got back into it again. Brilliant tackle. Ball jars free. Ware, he's a slippery customer. On the lead, Daniel Shell. Oh, Elijah Ware delivers perfectly, lace out to the leading goal kicker in the competition, Daniel Shell. He hasn't got one yet, but he would be a fair chance from 45, slight angle.
So what's going on down the boundary there?
Yeah, Mark Passador has been taken off. He's on the phone to Ronnie Fuller. Peter Fiarchi into the forward line.
Thanks, Sodas. Daniel Shell for goal number 39 of the year. Good-looking kick. There's a goal. Magnificent kick from there by Daniel Shell as a breeze over his shoulder. Lovely kick.
See Elijah Ware with his speed that we've talked about so much this year. Fantastic pass, and Daniel Shell making no mistake after wrapping up in the lead to finish and increase his lead on the goal-kicking table.
Well, it was not much action from Central's point of view until the 17-minute mark, and in the last 6 minutes or so, they've kicked 3 goals to take some advantage from the breeze in this opening term. They'll go forward again. Ware just hooking it in one hand. Colville with the crumb. High. Several players under it. In the end, the hand pass came out from Thomas. Don't know if he looked, but it was effective anyway. Hay inside 50 with the kick was long, and leading Jew takes the mark. Looks around, just sizes up what he's got inside. He has Krieg coming for him, but he's given the option of going long, and there's no doubt Stuart Jew, magnificent kick that he is, will make the distance from here. Let's put the mockers on him. It's just a question, you would think, of accuracy as Jew lines up, and you can tell straight away the crowd was happy with that result. That's 2 to Stuart Jew in his opening game of the season in the opening quarter of this match, as Ronnie Fuller comes to the bench, and well, he might not be too pleased.
Stuart Jew's made a really huge impact so far in this first quarter, and that's great to see an AFL player coming back to a team that I guess, you know, he'd certainly have a fair bit of respect for and a love for donning the Central's Guernsey, even though disappointed to miss out in his AFL game this week, but made a real big impact, and that's great to see for Central Districts.
Premiership player in 2000, Stewie Jew. Krieg, wobbly kick. Westbrook, who's been a consistent performer for them this year. This man too, Inkster, and also Colville. Just got away from Mackenzie. You'd expect that. Oh, big nest of Bulldogs there. Colville did brilliantly to Inkster, who tried to beat one too many tackles. Gets it to Toya. Back to Phillipou. Delayed the handball beautifully to Merriman. He'll need to go long. He does go long. Rugolo couldn't get there. Hay got a handy hand on it. Back into it again. Lovely tackle. Ball at the foot of the pack. Hay back in again. Frantic football inside 50 for the Eagles. Ball up.
Just a couple of times we've seen Central Districts miss a couple of tackles, and it's pretty uncharacteristic of the Central Districts players, letting the opposition run through a few of them.
26 points the difference. Thomas out of half back. Kicks it long. Coulter! Oh, nearly. Slade. Big pack. Call for the ball up. 26 and a half minutes gone in this top of the table contest in round 14 of SANFL football. Dogs lead it by 26. Ball down. Chris Gowans. Oh, handball. There's a birthday present for Westbrook. He kicks it long to a contest. Lindsay can't take it. Front and square. Toya. Phillipou. We know he can kick goal. Sam around the body. Lovely kick by Sam Phillipou. Good roving. 142 games. He's kicked 232 goals now. Sensational snap by Phillipou.
It's a much-needed goal from the Eagles. They were, you know, they're getting a little bit worried, and Ronnie Fuller getting a little bit worried that the Central team was pushing ahead of them, but well done, Sammy Phillipou, crumbing what normally would be the opposite role. He'd normally be the one contesting, but well done and well finished.
Lovely kick by Phillipou, goal number 18 for the year. Bit of treatment there. I think that might have been Hopwood. Getting some treatment on the boundary. Back to 20 points. O'Hara down. Inkster can't get away from the tackle of Mackenzie. Back in the side today, Jason Mackenzie. I think Central's look a lot better with him in the team. Gives him another big man option. Merriman hit spear on the head. Good tackle, Bello. Can't take him to ground though. And that's what a lot of football teams build their whole ethic around. Once you tackle, ditch him into the turf. Merriman knocks it forward. Krieg has got to gather. And a man on the overlap in Hay to Ware. Not too many can go with Elijah. Long kick by Ware. Out to Jew. Oh, hit him lace out. Stewie Jew kicked the goal from about 5 metres further in and had no problems. He's going for goal number 3 and back to that 26-point margin.
Michael's about telling that Ronnie Fuller makes the move with Stephen Hall on Jew.
I think he is on him at the moment. Jew from 45, sits it up. It's a high kick. I don't think it's done enough to come around, and it's a behind. So it's 21 points the difference.
Yeah, could have taken the lead a little bit further, stating the obvious there probably, but could have taken the lead, a very handy lead at quarter time with the Eagles coming back with that win next quarter.
Stewie Jew, 5 kicks, scored with all of them, 2 goals, 3.
Thanks, Ian. Stokes' kick finds Fruin at half-back. Brent Fruin. Siren goes for quarter time. And Central District, I suppose they'd be happy with a 21-point lead with that breeze. And been a tough contest. Central 5-4-34. Lead the Eagles 2-1-13. It's quarter time. Spear on Ware. They've decided to let the two speedsters run it out on the wing. Been a good matchup. Underway, second term. Dogs by 21. Bello kicked off the ground by Merriman. Up forward. Graham couldn't take clean possession. Phillipou can. Can he kick a goal? Sam! What a start to the second term by the Eagles. And that man, Sam Phillipou, gets his second and goal number 19 for this year. What an important player he is. Good work by Merriman to get that ball forward.
It certainly was. It was a very important finish by Phillipou. Look, he finished that first quarter with that goal and just bridged the gap a little bit and carried it on at the start of the second quarter as the same finish there with that fantastic view over the top of the goal umpire's head. And that's the start the Eagles will be looking for. And Ron Fuller, he'd be very positive. I think, I don't think at quarter time he would have said too much that was negative.
Not a good effort by Graham.
No, certainly was not. It's on the other hand, Roy Laird would have liked a little bit more out of him.
Eagles again going forward. O'Hara did well, got rid of his man Sibonala, just hand passed the ball in front. Off the high, Trapp in a lot of trouble. That's holding the ball. Umpire, no, play on, he calls it. Still no decision. Ball almost over the boundary line. Finally just kicked along the boundary line and out of bounds. And boy, he was lucky. Centrals were lucky.
They don't play too many of those these days, I don't think, Neil.
No, obviously not. Waiting for the ball to come back into play. Schooler and O'Hara. Toya takes it out of the ruck, dropped it. Umpire will call it that way. You take it out of the ruck at your own peril. Thomas met hard. The clash there came from Inkster. Central's under pressure. Couple of mistakes in front of Ware. Pedler came in. Now Phillipou. Couple of players in front of him. One of them is Stokes. Stokes will approach from 50, from 45. He closes, kicks it across goal, misses everything. No, he doesn't. Just scraped it in for the behind. Just another look at what happened with Inkster. Crash into Thomas, who just took the bounce, and Inkster came when Thomas had his eyes down.
That did take the wind out of him. He stayed down for a good 10-15 seconds after that, just sucking a few deep ones in.
You see all the bumps here on SANFL football. Tyson Hay, as I said earlier, back into the side today, kicks a long ball. Mark Hopwood can't afford to have him. Just shapes up to Luke Toya there. Good kick in the middle. Sibonala to Gowans. This is James. I'd like to have that kick back again. The 98 gamer. Fruin thought he had enough of that. Daniel Shell hails the cap. Umpire doesn't reward, and she's on. We haven't had too much push and shove so far. Everyone's getting fired up on the outer side.
Yeah, I'm disappointed there that the mark wasn't paid, and look, probably was unlucky, I'd say.
Ball spills out the back. Sikalella. The man in space is Stokes. Trainer got out of the way. They spend a bit too much time on the ground, runners and trainers, for my liking. Taken by Inkster. Spear tackled. Lovely job by Ware. Hay. He's found a bit of space, let himself down with a handball. James Gowans is testimony to that. Umpire let it go. Umpire Richard Williams. Well, I must say he did have prior opportunity. Pinned the arms.
That's got to be holding the ball, surely. Here we see a bit of the tussle on the umpire getting bowled over.
Getting right into it. Bello. And a free kick will come back. And you can just sense things are starting to hot up a bit, Ben.
That's what we're looking forward to.
Hopwood runs through the centre. High kick. Fruin this time. Surely a free kick. No free kick. Thought it was over the shoulder. Umpire threw the whistle away. We'll have a ball up.
I'll tell you what, with that spoil, Fruin was not at all impressed with Shell. Shell followed the football, and you watch Fruin jump up here and charging, if we can see it. He jumps up and absolutely charges in there, hoping to, I think, land one on Daniel Shell, and there's a bit happening.
There's a lot happening out there. 4.5 minutes gone. And it is 14 points the difference in favour of the Doggies.
Lindsay just knocking it. Switala knocking it as well in front of him. Switala goes to ground. A couple of people wanted a free kick and none was forthcoming. Again, the umpire letting things go. Richard Williams comes in to officiate. Switala slow up. A couple of bodies came over the top of him. All up again. Again, Lindsay with control, and again, Central shark the ball. It's high. James Gowans, ball punched to ground by, well, in the background, Dew's into it with Toya, and the umpire has come in and let it go. Well, Dew and Toya were into it.
Those pills are working.
The ball was on the ground. And there are some angry men. Forget about pills. There's angry men out there everywhere. Ball comes down to Merriman. Off the right boot, goes towards the centre of the ground. Just hope for space. He found some. Phillipou gets his man under the ball. Steinburner takes on his man. Loses the ball. Stokes sweeps on it. Great hand pass from Rugolo. Phillipou gets possession. Can turn around and kick it. Opts to go back to Rugolo. Run down by Ware. Well done. Pressure coming all over the ground at the moment. That was a great tackle as well coming in. Umpire paid it for too high to Centrals and kept on going Centrals. Oh, there's too much happening. Finally, Thomas steadies things on the wing. Poor kick. Lindsay comes in, misses it. Coward, buffed the ground by his own man, Gowans. Chris Gowans goes in now. Finally calls a halt to it. And here we go with another ball up.
Take a breath, Neil.
It's frantic, absolutely frantic.
I'll tell you what, sorry Neil, I'll tell you what, I've been really impressed with Elijah Ware. Not just his speed and his skills and his disposal, but just his chasing and his tackling and his shepherding. It's just been fantastic so far.
Must agree with you there, Ben. Good point. Colville's high kick. We don't want rain. Good thump away by Sibinala. Thomas on hands and knees. Oh, Toya. Lovely hip and shoulder on Steinburner. Forces the ball up. Tough
Luke
out
Toya,
there.
geez, he doesn't mind hitting a body, Luke Toya, and it's just fantastic to see him after that neck injury that we all know he sustained a few years ago. I was actually about 5 metres away from him on the same ground when he did that, and that was sickening, but it's great to see him back out there having a bit of fun.
Lovely handball by Lindsay. Spear couldn't take it with him. Where? Oh, surely a free kick, no. Ducked the head. In goes Rugolo. Just gets it forward to Phillipou, who's been creative. Handball, looking for Mackenzie. Mackenzie in a bit of space. Lovely smother by Gowans. Spills out the back to Slade. Dogs relieve the pressure. Slade maybe looking for the boundary. Potter has got to crash through a few. Stewie Dew gets him. And when you get tackled by Stewie Dew, you stay tackled. The big body has Stewie, and look at that, Ben. Good work.
He'll just be looking forward to getting it a bit physical today, I think, Stewie Dew, getting his hands on as much footy as he can and grabbing a few bodies and having a bit of fun and full game on the oval.
It's gone up a notch. I don't know how much fun he'll have. Taken by Slade, taken to the line by Westbrook. Boundary throw in. This game really has gone up a couple of notches from the first term.
It's always been a key to the Central District's game, that physicality. And if the Eagles can match them with that physicality and still manage to get as much of the footy as they have been in recent weeks, that's where I think the Eagles can get over the top of Central here today.
Big ground, Woodville Oval, and nobody can find too much space just at the minute. Slade trickles it to Ware, who has another kick. Up and under, we'll get his stats in a minute, Moggy. High kick, this time Fruin, third time lucky. Missed the first one. I thought it should have been paid. Should have got a free kick over the shoulder the second, but he's napped this one at half back for the Eagles.
Sikulala was pleading for it out the back. He's decided to go long and more direct down the wing. Mackenzie roved it well. Thought he was in trouble holding his mouth before. Ball at half forward. Hay. Slick hand pass. Well done. Sibinala's in trouble. Sibinala loses possession. Ball on the ground. Sliding in was Slade.
Like you said, Neil, that was a fantastic handball by Hay. He just managed to get a couple of arms free, as he would, and get that little handball off and take the Eagles guy down to ground.
Elijah Ware, 6 kicks, 2 handballs. Luke Spear, 5 and 1.
Interesting shootout on the wing. We'll get another ball up. Conditions seem to have mellowed somewhat. I don't know if that's true, Sodas. We'll come to that in a moment, as maybe it's the calm produced in the match at the moment. Chris Gowans shakes off a tackle and just keeps on going. Gets a couple of good shepherds. Gowans now shares with Swatala. Swatala has a bounce. Great shepherd off the ball coming from Cowan. Long kick in. Shell couldn't take it. Ball to ground. Another disputed ball. And as always in this match, a lot of people around the ball. And Luke Toya and Nathan Steinburner not happy with each other behind the ball. Umpire speaking to them. That man is Toya on the left. We'll get the weights in a moment for the match-up that will be coming between Toya and Steinburner.
I think Luke Toya's picked every bloke on the ground. It's around about his size. I don't think he's gone for anyone too much bigger yet.
Dew Tried to get through the tackle of his direct opponent, Sikalala, who took him to ground very, very well. And now the push and shove is on. Chris Gowan's involved. Umpire Richard Williams says, give me the ball. I want to restart this.
Neil,
Less chance of violence.
Neil, you mentioned the weather moments ago. The breeze has died down a little bit, but the ferocity in the game has certainly picked up. The crowd's getting into it. Certainly the players here at ground level are hitting each other very, very hard. Stephen Hall was into it then and was shoved out of it by Dew. Pedler with the quick kick. Here's Ware and Spear, the match-up we've been talking about. Crack when Hopwood went for Spear, forgot about the ball. Powell picked that up, gave it to Potter. Out of defence, the Eagles come. Inkster did almost brilliantly to hold on to that one. A couple of handballs, Steinburner. Toya's coming at him. He'll enjoy that. Steinburner breaks inside. Hand pass into Hay. Hay with the long kick from behind. Cowan couldn't take it. Play on. Cowan was ruled to have been in the back, and the Eagles will come clear again.
Rugolo just got back inside. Handball too fierce for Sikalala. It'll sit okay. Sikalala's kick just touched. In goes Slade. Brilliant tackle by Mackenzie. Umpire had the whistle to the mouth, didn't blow it, and then said, give it to me. Oh, tough game to umpire this one for sure.
That was a really poor kick through the centre there and put the Eagles boys under a lot of pressure.
Oh, in defence of Sikalala, it was touched off the boot. That's why it floated.
Ah, okay.
He did.
Good pick up, Neil.
Colville, wobbly ball. Graham got it away. Schooler couldn't get it. Mackenzie got a call from Inkster. He dashes away on the left boot. Inkster, he might go all the way. Long, thumping kick by Inkster. Oh, what a kick! They opened it up beautifully, did the Eagles. And Inkster finished it off in magnificent style. Let's have a look at this, Ben.
Use his pace, use his speed that we've seen again today from Inkster. You see the benefit of the wind behind him there, carried that football 55, 60 metres and a fantastic good. Big news down the boundary line though, we just see Elijah Ware going off and he has what looks like some kind of thumb injury. I'm sure Sodas will check up on that in a minute.
There's Inkster, quite brilliant and quite quick. Stokes and Symes, the man who's just come on to replace Elijah Ware. Obviously, some sort of hand problem there. The doctor checking it out. Sodas has a closer view than we do, so he will tell us what's going on in a few moments as Gowans clears the ball forward for Centrals. It's gone in a few times this quarter, but the Eagles have done all the scoring. Stokes, clever in front of Toya. They've got the numbers here, but they all run past the ball. Symes with his second possession in a couple of moments on the ground. Potter comes and knocks it forward. Dew hunting over the ball. Now Dew shares the hand pass out the back between two of his own players. Hay knocks it forward. Rugolo put the pressure on. Steinburner finally with possession. Now Swatala breaks, looks up forward. Coulter is signalling kick it long. Swatala instead takes his time, and then not the greatest of kicks. Cowan couldn't take it. Ball to the front, and the Eagles again wrap up the players in the tackle. They've been very good at that. Coulter trying to break the pack, taken to ground. Front of a scoreboard that shows the Eagles are coming. They're trailed by 8 points at the moment. Central's under siege, even though they are in attack, and that could be holding the ball. Westbrook just went straight to ground and held onto it in the tackle of Slade.
Neil, Centrals are under siege, but so is Luke Toyer as he came from the ground from the Central District supporters, and he's been replaced by Peter Fiarchi.
Thanks for that, Sodas. Ball in dispute again. Coulter couldn't get the ball. Colville got a kick out of there. Slick hands. Now here's Stokes, and the Eagles break from the back again.
Stokes looking for Mackenzie. Good work by Thomas, who hasn't quite been as predominant today, and he finds the line. 14 minutes gone, second term. Centrals by 8 points in the top of the table contest. There's Elijah Ware.
Yeah, Michael, just on Elijah, he's just popped a finger. He's got them taped together, and he'll be back ready to play again.
The itching to get back on has been in outstanding form. Rugolo, the tackle by Schoolers, a beauty. There he is, just doing some limbering up, the man with the white boots. If you wear white boots, you need to play well. I don't think he's let us down too much, Ben.
No, it's certainly, like we said, you want to play well with the old racing stripe, and he's doing that at the moment.
Ball jars free, Fiarchi in the back. Symes drove him into the turf. That free kick was there. Coulter, he's come off for a spell. Spent a few pennies for Josh Coulter, and a bit of a Guernsey change on the outer side too.
And a mismatch, because Ware's gone on to a forward pocket, And Hall's having a look at him going, am I expect to run with him?
Yeah, Benny's just been told from the boundary line too that he's going to take due, but instead he's just run straight off the ground, and John Floriani's going to replace him.
On and off, all over the place. The short kick by Fiacci found Sikalella in a much better position, directly in front of goal. And Sikalella, with a 6-pointer here, can bring it back to 2 points. And just a moment ago, we saw Vinny Rugolo just dispense with that second jumper that he had, Neil Cross, as you mentioned earlier. He's just got the short sleeves now. He's working up a sweat as Vinny. This man too, Sikalella, from 47 metres. Long, high kick. Is it coming around? It is! Eagles trail by just the 2 points. Well back in this contest, Ben.
It's just what we'd expect. Just what we'd expect. A fair dinkum, just shoot out like we talked about before. And we'll see the push in the back and the original free kick before the short pass to Sikalella in a little bit of space. And Sikalella being great down in defence with a lot of pressure, and then to run up into attack and kick a goal is extremely damaging. And just what the Eagles boys would have liked there.
So does the in and outdoors are working on that boundary line for the Eagles.
Yeah, they certainly are. Just with that Elijah Ware change, it's got the Eagles to move things around. Stephen Hall came off the ground. He's back on now. He's picking up Daniel Shell and Joe Pedler having a rest.
Hopwood with the mark. Steinburner in space on the far side. Takes the ball. Goes in long and, well, not the greatest of kicks. It may yet find a target. It doesn't. On the ground, fighting hard. Sikalella coming the other way. Got one high. Briefly high off the ball. It's on again. Potter. And one of the Gowans boys, it's Chris Gowans, and Chris Gowans got a lovely little shot into the abdomen there before they started wrestling. They move on now as Sikalella takes his time, considers options. Not a lot of them. Central's manning up on the far side of the ground. Good spot up, finds Potter, or rather Fiacci. Fiacci, not the greatest of kicks. In fact, it was horrible. It was out on the full. McKenzie, you might have heard the call, yours buckets. And we see there, Vinny Rugelos, obviously getting a bit hot under the collar. He's not the only one out there. There's a few players a little hot under the collar. Shell and Hall go for the ball. Comes to the front. Just a slight hesitation there for Merriman, and bang, he was gone. Umpire will come in, throw it up, half forward for the Bulldogs. Shell over the top. He's done that quite a few times. Stokes was clever. Didn't take the first option. Preferred to go to Fruin on the boundary under siege. Bello was in tight. Eagles, though, through Westbrook. They don't get away with it. Another brilliant tackle this time from Cowan. Well, this is worthy of a top-of-the-table clash. Just hoping it just goes on. It's just such a fantastic match. Central's lead by 2 points midway through the second term.
I'll tell you what, if you don't want any body contact, go and have a shower, because these two teams are really slugging it out at the moment. Hall takes a timely mark over Jew. They could spread it to Stokes. He's reeled in on this side of the ground. Long kick by Hall, just kicks to a big contest. McKenzie over the back, slapped it down. Gowans, that's Chris, got it to Marco Bello. Bello got it to Swatala. They share it. It goes to Hopwood. Hopwood goes in short, looking for Shell. Too short. Well done, Sikalella. Got it away. Westbrook just threw it on the boot. High kick, big contest. Over the back, Graham just waits for it to sit. Oh, kick smothered. Good pressure by Fiacci. He got it back from McKenzie. Fiacci kicks and lets himself down. No, Passador come out on a full head of steam. Colville, just a quick kick forward. In goes Phillipou, paddles. In goes Inkster, can't get clear. Good tackling by Hay. Lindsay in there also. There's Ronnie Fuller, a bit concerned. And another change as Hopwood comes off, so does, and also Krieg coming on.
Yeah, Michael Heath did grab hold of his hamstring a couple of times during that first quarter. He did come off for a breather, and he just may still be a little bit sore.
And Phillipou's hooked it round the body for a goal. Goal number 3 to Sam, and the Eagles hit the lead. They're in front by 4 points, and that would please that man on screen, Sam Phillipou's third. What a beauty.
Great goal. Something I've noticed about the Eagles' forward line is just Centrals are leaving it a lot more open. The first quarter with that wind, we saw the Eagles actually clog up that forward line of Central Districts. It didn't help them all the time, but it certainly helped them occasionally. We got 2 or 3 guys back with a big spoil. The Central District defenders preferring just to go the one-on-one with the Eagles attackers, and at the moment I think that's helping the Eagles.
Central's yet to score in this quarter. The Eagles have added 4 goals, 1. And they have a 4-point lead. They're into attack again. Phillipou got rid of his man. Coming the other way, Thomas, or rather Sibanala for Centrals, clears to the wing. Good kick. Mark taken by Slade. Slow to get up. Westbrook did well, held him up. Roy Laird just perusing the ground. Well, like that, Dew finds some space. Rugolo shuts him down. Dew's a left footer. He'll come this side, you would think. Lead coming from the goal square from Cowan. Dew does not go that far. O'Hara thumps it forward, hits McKenzie in the face. Great tackle coming in from Fruin on Gowans. It's on behind the play between those two as Creed takes the mark at half forward. And I think it's a 0-0 draw between Fruin and Gowans. Ball into the dangerous area, 20 metres from goal. Colville, now Ware, takes the ball away. He's in trouble. Forced a hand pass, James Gowans. He's in trouble, taken the ground. Centrals have turned over the ball. Fiachi against another speedster in Steinburner. They go to the line. This match has everything.
Gee, the tackling's been fantastic out there today. It's just been absolutely ferocious and a real highlight of this top of the table clash. So we see Daniel Shell limping back from that contest coming through centre half forward.
It was O'Hara when he thumped the ball forward somewhere, and there Shell was a victim. O'Hara now doing the ruck work. McKenzie, a hand pass to Slade, inside half forward with the kick. Cicalella's body work was just fantastic to get rid of Krieg and take the mark. No options to spread the ball at this stage, so he's going to go down the line, long and towards the wing. Westbrook couldn't call it in. Now he does, taking the ground without the ball. Play on calls the umpire. Swatala content to walk over the line. Colville was coming at him. Get another throw in. The Eagles by 4 points. We're into time on second quarter. Hasn't it gone quickly?
Well, it certainly has. 4 unanswered goals by the Eagles in this term. Ball in dispute. Slade fixes that up. Long left foot kick. Shell can't hold on. Potter over the back, kicked off the ground, taken by Chris Gowans. Potter claims him. The umpires, if they're going to be consistent, they won't pay holding the ball. There's Ryan Potter. Take a lot to hurt him. We've seen him take some big knocks this year. Stokes kicks it very high. Camped underneath it, McKenzie and Thomas. Bit of body work. Symes haven't called him too much. Rugolo locked up in the tackle. Umpire Richard Williams will do the bouncing, all the balling up. There's Vinny Rugolo.
Interesting to note, the Centrals have been inside 50 as many times as the Eagles this quarter, 9 each, but they haven't scored.
Good point there, Mogridge. Centrals go back inside 50. Add another one to that. Good mark by Cicalella. Oh, he can spread it to this side of the ground to Stokes. Stokes can run. He can have half a dozen bounces, Matthew Stokes. He's had one. Decides to load it up. Looking for Phillipou. Phillipou and Sibanala. Good contest. Powell just couldn't take clean possession. Well done, Tyson Hay. That's the difference. Lovely bit of play. Over the top to Chris Gowans. Rugolo legally. The kick up forward. No one can take the mark. Potter did beautifully. Got it to Merriman. To Phillipou in the centre. And a lead from Fiachi. I think he might go long and look for Inkster. Inkster! What a grab! He doesn't let you down. He'll take 1 or 2 of those a game. Inkster kicks it long. Passador can't take the mark. Over the back, Fiachi. He might run in and hook it over the left boot. It's a goal! Oh, what a piece of play. Set up by that Specky from Tim Inkster. And Peter Fiachi gets his first. The Eagles out to 10 points.
Great grab. There we see it. Over the top. Couldn't find a bigger guy to get over the top of. And straight to his feet, using the football beautifully. And we see Passador running under it. Maybe a little bit rusty after a few weeks off. And a fantastic snap from that deep pocket. Well, the Eagles, they're back. Not that we doubted them after that first quarter, because they have shown us some fantastic signs over the last 10 or 11 weeks. And look, we are in for a fantastic game here today.
Dew been thrown into the middle. Puts the ball forward. Potter only knows one way. It's forward, 100%, and he's caught now. Umpire will call for a bounce down. Central's players, as you can clearly see, not happy. Bit on in the crowd too. Between the two camps, Slade quickly inside 50 with the kick. Sikalella's done well in this situation this time. Ball favours Shell round the corner. Ware could mark it, does mark it. Brilliant, play on, goal! Well done, Central District. Ware, well, he's a player, isn't he?
Clever.
Well, they had Sainsbury last year, and Ware stepped it up this year for them. They haven't lost anything there.
No, that was so clever. Well taken. He just read with the wind. I mean, the wind's taking it back over his head, and he's running, holding his player off, and still managed to keep an eye on it as the ball's drifting behind him, and just judged it beautifully. Took the mark. Enough poise just to amble in, finish off the goal, and he has been super impressive today.
And they've thrown him forward too, and immediately it gets results. He kicks a goal on Merriman. In goes Colville for Floriani. Eagles will, and they get another one. They won't before the siren goes. But we have been treated to a magnificent quarter of football, a magnificent half of football. It really has been. Points back in the centre. Schooler taken by Toyer, lays it off to Mackenzie. Mackenzie kicks it high to that man that Mark Soderstrom spoke about, Sam Phillipou. He couldn't get it. Free kick. Advantage rule will be paid. It'll go to off to Hyde. Off to Hyde. Kicks down the line. Good mark. Mackenzie. Being a good player for them. Averaging around the 21, 22 possessions in season 2004 after spending a bit of time with Carlton on the rookie list. High kick, couple of grabs. Lindsay couldn't take the mark. Symes works it to the line. Just having a look around Ben Knights. Have you seen any major structural changes from both sides?
Not a lot. I think they're still going to back in the boys in the positions that they had. I'm looking at Lukey Toyer, who's running back there. He's come back on the ground. But not too much to talk about so far.
Quick shot at John Floriani there a moment ago as Ware got it away to James Gowans, back to Ware. Couldn't control it. And ball taken to ground, Merriman. It flicks out the back. Dew overran it. Sikalella. Good handball. Sets up Toyer, who gives it off to Merriman. A real springboard up half back. They've got a couple of springboards in this game in Merriman and for the Bulldogs, Paul Thomas. Passador hasn't kicked a goal so far. Doesn't really look like it. Inkster, he's been exciting. Tim Inkster, he's a couple of kicks out from goal. Long kick and ill-directed. Mark taken by Quinton Graham. Graham spots up Slade. So the Bulldogs out of trouble. Slade, plenty of pace, loves to bounce with the left hand. He's had 3 so far, cuts through the centre of the ground. Long kick as Pedler looks on. Sikalella can't take the mark. Ball in dispute. Fruin tries to get through, held on to it for a fortnight. Umpire gave him the benefit of the doubt as Daniel Shell asked the question, the same one that I posed just a moment ago. I think he held on a bit long.
Yeah, it looked like lucky to get away with the holding the ball decision there.
Getting a little bit darker as we start the second half. Steinburner comes out for Central District, high and long, and they get to the front of the pack because it will come to ground. James Gowans, the man who was at the front of the pack, taken to ground, still tackled. Umpire gave him long enough to give it to his brother Chris. Over the ball, quickly slips the hand past to Swatala. Was good and steady, but then missed to the left.
First score of the second half, 1 point to Central Districts and 3 points to lead to the Eagles.
There's Adam Swatala, there's the bench. O'Hara, like Luke Spear and Joey Pedler. Just waiting on the football to come back.
There is a change for the Eagles. They're not playing their second ruckman up forward. Going for Passador, forward pocket.
Mackenzie has done this a couple of times. Just tapped the ball on the boot. Lindsay goes to ground, wants the line, gets it. 3 points the difference.
Top ball getters in the first half for the Eagles. Gavin Colville 16, Justin Sigala 14, Andrew Merriman 12, Matthew Stokes 10 for the Doggies, Matthew Slade 14, Chris Gowans 12, 10 each to James Gowans and Elijah Ware.
Central's benchmark.
Yeah, for the Bulldogs, Jason McKenzie, Matthew Krieg and also Josh Coulter starting the second half on the bench.
Bruin kicks it down the line, and Fiacci, did he keep it in? No. Boundary umpire right on the ball. Luke Toyer dashes away with the football, but he's got to bring it back, and there are the men on the bench just waiting their turn. Krieg in the middle. Hasn't had too much of it today. Josh Coulter lined up on Stephen Hall right at the start of the game, but things have changed since then. Elijah Ware came in and did the ruck work. Powell, haven't called him too much. Schooler, Symes, in a bit of traffic, just got the kick away. Potter has a yard or two. Good shepherd by Merriman. Potter's kick, and Chris Gowans over the back. One grab, couldn't take it. Slade got it to James Gowans, who got it back to Symes, who kicks forward. Cowan couldn't take the mark. Scraps picked up by Sikalella, as he does so well, and delivers beautifully, and finds McKenzie on the outer side. McKenzie not let go by Chris Gowans. And McKenzie got the socks down today. Plenty of hard work. Lindsay over the back. Schooler, front and square. James Gowans. Slade shared it with Hopwood. He just tumbles the ball to Chris Gowans, who knocked it back. Phillipou over the football, dives on it, pops out. In they go, Westbrook and also Gowans. Thought that one might have been over the shoulder. And goodness me, umpire, he says.
I think something that Roy Laird's accepted is the fact that Eagles may be a little bit more dominant in ruck, so they're trying to at every opportunity get someone jumping over the top of those ruck contests.
And Floriani read that very well. He dropped off the pack into space, realising that was what was planned by Centrals. Got possession, and as you see now, free kick down the ground, and the Eagles through Fiacci will go inside 50. Fiacci didn't pull it to the advantage of his side. Rugolo almost took it at the front. Now Toyer into open goal. And as they did in the first quarter against the Breeze, the Eagles kicking against the Breeze now in the third quarter. Open the scoring in terms of major results anyway.
He caught it well, Neil. That kick went to the wrong side of the pack as it came into the 50 line. Good contest, though, by both those Eagles boys, and Luke Toyer running into an open goal. Ron Fuller would be really hoping now that the Eagles, unlike their first quarter, don't let Central Districts get the 4 or 5 goals ahead of them. So it'll just make it so much harder in that last quarter, especially if the weather comes in on us a little bit later, as it is expected to do.
Good celebration by Toyer after that goal, his first. 9 points the difference in favour of the Eagles. Good clearance by McKenzie. Good work by Sibanala, jammed on the boot. That left foot has gone a long way. By the time it ends up running out of bounds on the half-forward line, it probably carried about 70 metres. Good clearing dash by Sibanala, boundary throw in. There's the speedy Elijah Ware. One wonders where he'll play next year, Ben.
You're telling us something there, Michael.
Well, I think if you're an AFL scout, you'd certainly have the binoculars fixed on that young man, for sure. Big pack of players over this football. Powell can't get through. Ricochets back. Slade shared it with Gowans. Went to his brother. Here's that man Ware. It's close to the boundary line. Hall went to ground, and the experienced Hall saw it out of bounds. Boundary throw in. 7 minutes gone. 9 points the difference. Eagles with the only goal of the term, kicked by Luke Toyer just a minute or so ago. Game still in the balance. You'd think that Centrals need to kick a couple of quick ones. Taken by McKenzie. He's had some touches. Merriman. High kick. Will it float out of bounds on the full? I think it has. Free kick might have been paid in any case. And it'll go to Symes. Holds onto the football. Kicks it inside 50. Sikalella will take this mark. Not uncontested. Bello was there with some body on him. Crowd calls ball. Big pack of players. Daniel Shell gets shoved out of the way. The umpire standing right there said, give it to me. I think that's umpire Mead. We'll have a ball up.
I reckon if you have a careful look at that, Michael, I reckon that was about 2 or 3 Eagles blokes who each had 2 hands on that. And the Central boys, including Daniel Shell, saying, you know, what's going on there?
Well, they were all hailing the cab, weren't they? And I think you're right. I think they had a case. 25 metres out from Central's goal. Chris Gowans to ground. Matthew Slade in there as well in Central's colours. Ronnie Fuller in Eagles colours, sitting up in the bench adorned with the green and yellow of the old Woodville side. Ball the ground. Hall took a while to make the decision. Umpire gave it too high. I don't know about that, but it's play on advantage anyway. Ball kicked towards Passador. Looks out of touch. Looks like he spent some time recovering from an injury, and of course that's exactly what's happened as Swatala drives it up long. Dew comes from the back, knocks it down. Slade couldn't get possession. The Eagles have possession. Cicolella will go and rush it. No, he won't. Gets away from Cowan. Gives it back to Fruin. They're mucking around. Fruin will rush it. Finally, under pressure, he realised there wasn't an option anywhere to be had for the Eagles. 8 points the margin.
They had some confidence there, though. They knew they had the numbers and they could take their time to work out what was going on. Smart move in the end to rush it through. But the Eagles flooding back like they did in that first quarter, just blocking up the Central District forward line a little bit. And, Central's needing to put a couple of goals on the board, you'd think.
Just can't find a way to goal at the moment, the Doggies. Long kick by Stokes, for the one for the high flyers. Cowan at the front. Schooler got it to Steinburner. Maybe Steinburner can set something up. Good kick. And James Gowans paid the mark. Umpire was right there.
Not on the half volley.
Interesting to have another look at it.
He did claim it.
Well, he would, wouldn't he?
Well, he would claim it, but whether or not it was, was exactly there. But we'll back the umpire in. He was pretty close to it.
This to take it back to 2 points. It's just faded away. And James Gowans picks another behind. 7 points the difference in favour of the Eagles.
I reckon that wind's just drifting a little bit to the west there. Oh, no, he did. Good call. He got his hands underneath that, wrapped it up.
Again, ball back into defensive side of the ground for the Eagles and out of bounds. Chris Gowans looking a little frustrated there. Brent Fruin, experienced player, played one league game, I think it was, with Fitzroy before Fitzroy became defunct. Spent some time at Richmond too from memory. Never played a league game, but the coach got sacked.
Just stop, Dave, just stop.
Ball the ground. Symes over it for Centrals. Get another ball up. It's inside the Dogs' 50, but it is very crowded, and that's the way the Eagles have planned this. Just going man on man. Bello finds some space, just hacks it forward. Dew did well, umpire no call, and in the end, the Eagles come away. Colville, he'll be under pressure, did well, around the corner. Inkster tried to get his man away from the ball. Hay did well, that was high. Umpire comes in and rules exactly that. James Gowans was given the free kick. Hay was allowed to play on, and Hall marks for the Eagles right in the square. Cicolella had a lot of possessions in this quarter, had a lot of possessions in the match, had a lot of possessions in the season. Floriani on the end of this one. Floriani down to centre wing. Passador still looks out of touch. Great hand pass from Ware. Trouble is he found Colville from the other side. Colville down towards half forward. Fiachi used his body well. Symes tackled. Half forward left for the Eagles. We'll get another ball up. Fiachi slipping off the back of the Packers. Umpire comes in to throw the ball up. Heath Hopwood's back in this quarter. He did spend some time on the bench under suspicion for some hamstring troubles. Ware clears the ball for Centrals. They have the number, the Eagles. They have the numbers, at least. Potter, off half-back, loose kick. Steinburner should wrap it up for the Dogs. Misses it, will follow up, but Potter follows up cleverly. Around the corner, found Toya. In space, Toya has Phillipou inside 50 and finds him with the kick. No. Umpire calls play on. Phillipou around the corner. They've got the numbers here too. The Dogs somehow scramble the ball away.
Don't want to bring out this side, go the other.
In a lot of trouble back there, but somehow the Dogs managed to escape. Sibanela finally clears it onto the far side of the ground. Chris Gowans is away now for Centrals.
Well, boy, it would have been trouble if Hopwood had gone to this side of the ground. They were queuing up on the outer side. There's a bit of physicality from Cowan, who got it back to Gowans. Gowans drives it long. Dew's there, and Colville. Colville did well. Dew's got him. No free kick. Colville, second effort. Coulter's got him. Umpire says, give it to me. Umpire me.
Michael,
Crowd gets upset. So does. Go
yeah, change for the Bulldogs. Daniel Shell off the ground. Josh Coulter to centre half forward.
Been slim pickings today for Daniel Shell. In goes Merriman, tried to go off the ground, no free kick for in danger. Dew spins around, O'Hara's got him, but too high. the Port Adelaide power listed Stewie Dew playing his first game in a long time for the Bulldogs. He's got a couple of goals. He's kicked 2 goals, 3 in fact. Will go back and shoot for goal.
Bounced off Sikalela there. Sikalela's been great with his tackling. As we see Stewie Dew go back.
James Gowans has kicked the goal. Just dished it off to James Gowans, and Gowans split the middle. The first goal of the afternoon, and the Bulldogs finally get one with the breeze at the 14-minute mark.
Good unselfish footy. We see here, bounce off Stewie Dew, bounce off Sikalela into O'Hara. Certainly grabbed him too high. Stewie Dew been great, you know, today. Like I've said a couple of times, he's come back into the team, helped Centrals out. Daniel Sheldon off the ground, the leading goal scorer in the whole competition. You know, they need someone else to stand up and maybe Stewie Dew's the man.
James Gowans, 9 kicks, 9 handballs. He's at 8 possessions this quarter already.
Eagles by 1 point. Toya away from the middle, can go long. Opts to just pop it over the top. They had 3 options and none of them could take the mark. Over the ball was Rugolo. Goes in now, follows up, tackles Hopwood. He's on the ground. Somehow it comes out. Steinburner tries to free the arms successfully. Sibanala misses. Toya picks it up. Now Sibanala comes again. Finally, it's out of bounds. Frantic action again. And again, the Eagles just able to break out of the middle.
Toya been a little bit too pretty there with his delivery. He drew the man towards him, but then tried to pop it, you know, only 10, 15 metres in front of him. Just needed to take a bit more time and really find one of those 3 targets that Neil talked about.
Brilliant tap down from O'Hara, almost set up McKenzie. He got a hand pass from Fianchi, and there Slade's hand pass was brilliant, so was Thomas. Ware is in a lot of space. He can work it down towards half forward before he has to dispose of it at the moment. From the wing, he goes in with the slickest of passes to Dew. Dew has a couple running for him. Nobody's in the square. Goal square, I mean, just pops it up. 3-on-1. Across comes Fruin, and it was 3-on-1 for the Eagles. Fruin's punch, though, doesn't find the line. Bello around on the right foot. It pops it up, and Fruin will take the relieving mark. Sikalela's running for him. That's the way he'll go. No, goes shorter than that. Fianchi. Now Sikalela's still in space, further ahead, 20 or 30 metres. Dew, though, wanders across and picks him up as Fianchi picks himself up from the ground. Goes back, takes his time. Fianchi into the breeze, pops it up from behind. Steinburner almost able to bring the ball down in the mark contest. Finally, we'll get a bounce down, umpire, or we'll get a throw up at least. Umpire Richard Williams comes in. 16-minute mark. 1 point the margin. Merriman coming off the ground.
Merriman off. Slade not held without the footy. Steinburner dived on it, ridden into the ground. Umpire Richard Williams says, give it to me. 1 point the difference. It was 4 points the difference at half-time. Ware, long thump, Bello, let himself down with a kick a moment ago on his right boot. Powell, the 2 number 7s clash. Floriani, did he take it out of bounds? Boundary umpire said, I'll throw it back in. Dew off for a spell. Ben Knights, interesting.
Yeah, another forward option having a break for them, so you see great umpiring there on the spot. The ball taken across.
Well, you think kicking with the breeze, you would think that you'd want to keep Stuart Dew up forward, so he may just have a niggling injury. Sikalela, short kick to Passador. His first real possession for the day, Moggy.
That's right, he's just had 1 handball up to now.
And working in his defensive half, Mark Passador. Uncharted territory for him. Coming back from that long layoff with a hamstring injury, decides to kick it to the broadside on the grandstand side, front and square. Ware got it away to Krieg. You can't fumble at this level. Krieg just knocked it away. Gowan's got it back to Steinburner. He's met by Floriani. Passador got it back to Sikalela. Cool head goes down the line. Phillipou. Colville. Oh, that's a magnificent grab. He's away and running. Colville. How far has he run? Long kick. Inside 50, Hopwood leads Toya to the ball. Knocked up by off to Hyde. Good kick. Out in front of Thomas. Gets a kind bounce. Thomas kicked over the top. Will it stay in for Graham? No. And Quentin Graham had a couple of yards there. Could have drawn a man in, but the kick not quite good enough. Boundary throw in. A point the difference to the Eagles.
Josh Coulter and Luke Cowan now look as though they're the only 2, or apart from the smalls, the 2 tall marking options up the Central District forward line. So a couple that certainly played up there a fair bit and pulled a few goals through this year, but not their leading goal kickers.
Ware again, almost able to clear the ball. It comes to Powell for the Eagles, inside the half-forward line with the kick. Nice mark taken by Graham for Centrals. Quickly to this side of the ground. Steinberner in space and with pace. Wants Swatala over the top. Colville was drawn in. Swatala now looks up forward, squares it up. Slade will come from behind. The Eagles there with numbers to punch the ball away. Coulter is a left footer. He wants his left foot. Comes inside with a hand pass. Slade comes in as well. Slade's hurt himself, or has he? Sikalella and Slade eye each other off in the back line as the ball scrambled forward. Steinberner taken the ground. Umpire call, throwing the ball. Great tackle coming from Viacci, but gee, on account of everything else I've seen, I didn't think there was a free kick in that.
Yeah, left field, that one.
So Viacci will take his time. Steinberner. Viacci hand passes off to Sikalella. Goes looking for O'Hara. Great kick, in fact, advantaged O'Hara. McKenzie did well. Hand pass out to Krieg. O'Hara quickly in. Umpire will come in and bounce this one. Nothing surer.
A couple of fumbles there from Krieg in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. He just needs to be a little bit more clean with his hands, a little bit cleaner, and we've got a blood rule now.
Boy from Kapunda. McKenzie coming off the ground. Eagles taking advantage of that as we see O'Hara and Lindsay swapping over. As McKenzie comes off, and still there's no replacement, so that's why they're holding up play. Cowan isn't quite aware that he has to go on the ground, so Luke Cowan drops the water bottle, and you saw there just at the top of the screen running past. He's on the ground now. Schooler will be opposed to Lindsay. Schooler takes front position. Lindsay, great tap. Toya dummied on one side, went to Fiacci, the left footer, taken in the tackle by Steinberner. Breeze holds the ball up. Still, it's inside half forward for the Eagles. Toya's there again. He's a menace if you happen to be in the red, white and blue. Now the ball inside 50 for the Eagles again. What a contest. Into time on, third quarter. 1 point the margin, and look at this. Just trying to keep their eyes on the ball, which drifted about 5 metres in the breeze.
Lindsay got it down. Crowd really revved up for this contest. Floriani clean bowls him. They won't get past Sikalella, who's been outstanding once again. Two-time best and fairest. Won their last two. Best and fairest, Justin Sikalella, but let himself down badly with the kick.
22 possessions though today, 16 and 6.
He's been magnificent, Sikalella.
I think he got one from James Gowans there after he disposed of that. I think that's why he's grimacing a little bit.
Right in the you-know-where. Got the ball up. Just on Sikalella, I just can't understand how he's not been on an AFL list for longer than he actually was. In goes Powell, and he's been locked up. Sikalella had a crack at it a few years ago, I think, with the Crows.
Yep.
And has been dropped off the list, but he's a much more mature player now, and I think he'd still probably cut it at AFL level. In goes Floriani, out the back to Stokes, who got it to Inkster. Lovely little give. Inkster kicks it long. Passador and Sibonala. Oh, that all just clean bowls them. Oh, free kick surely too high. Umpire right on the spot. It'll go to Matthew Krieg of the Bulldogs. Let's have a look at it. McKenzie, the offender. Krieg shorts it up to Thomas. We haven't called him too often today. It goes to Chris Gowans. Thought about kicking it to Ware, but went longer to Cowan. Fruin. Geez, in outstanding form at the moment, Brent Fruin. Here's a contest. Oh, no one backed out of that one. Steinberner came off second best. He's still down, Nathan Steinberner. He has not moved. He was crunched. In goes Inkster. Round the corner, got it towards Sikalella, while Steinberner's in all sorts of bother. Out the other side of the ground, they break to the Eagles, through Colville. He looks for Passador, and he can't take it. Well done, Stokes. Stokes is locked up. Umpire said ball up. What a clash between Sikalella and Nathan Steinberner. He is going to be stretchered off. He is in bad shape. Let's hope he's okay. He really did cop it. Courageous performance by Nathan Steinberner as play's been held up here. While we have another blood rule, are we just waiting for the Nathan Steinberner
Stretcher, so
stretcher?
everything stops.
Stretcher on the ground, and Ben Knights, what a crunch.
Yeah, look, unfortunate for Nathan Steinberner there. He's been playing a really good game, as has Sikalella, who cleaned him up, but just unfortunate to get the kick across the side of the face there, or the side of the head. And no one likes to see a player down on the ground, but it just goes to show a guy like Nathan Steinberner putting his head over the football. that's the commitment that the Central Districts team requires, and look, both teams have been going hard at it all day, and it is unfortunate to see him down like that.
Looks like he's awake and just lifted his head off the stretcher there a second ago, so we think he'll be all right. But once the stretcher comes out onto the ground, there's the applause for Nathan Steinberner.
Yeah, Michael, you're right. Nathan was conscious. He was able to remove his mouth guard as he did get knocked, but he's certainly not in very good condition, and we no doubt will not see him again, will we?
Straight down to the rooms for the number 34 for the Bulldogs. Head over the football. And that might just be the thing that inspires the Bulldogs for the rest of this match. Play underway again after that break. Schooler down. Stokes can't break free. Schooler again. Lovely smother. Graham's kick smothered. Krieg. The tackling in this match has been rather outstanding, Ben.
Absolutely a highlight of the game, and when we saw Nathan Steinberner come off from that stretcher, we saw Stewie Dew go back on. Two guys that would be pretty familiar with each other, having played a bit of AFL football together.
Slade, Graham under pressure, kick towards centre wing, Potter. Colville will get back there first. Well done by Colville. Sorry before, courageous mark here on centre wing on this side of the ground. Drives it back towards half forward. Slade came to the front. Now it's James Gowans. Gets a bump, rides it, gives it to Symes rather. Down towards half forward. Great kick from Symes. Finds Coulter. Goal square's open. Coulter goes over the top. Dew hoping for a bounce. Gets a great bounce. Dew should kick a goal. Misses. Magnificent pressure coming in there from Bruin. Wouldn't have had the pace of Dew either, but showed great desperation to put Dew off his kick.
I think Dew's a bit sore, actually, Neil. I think that's why he might have been sitting on the bench. I think he might have something a little bit wrong with him. He's just, a couple of times now, he just hasn't quite been able to go at 100% towards the football, and I think he's got a bit of a limp if we follow that.
Had a bit of osteitis pubis, Stewie Dew, over the last year or so. Let's hope he's okay. 2 goals for this afternoon. Colville. His kick will be chopped off by Sotala. Doggies would love another one before three-quarter time. There he is. He's definitely hobbling. Stuart Dew. Sold the dummy. Doesn't even want to kick. Goes to Krieg. Krieg inside 50. Loads up. A long kick. And just misses. They desperately needed that one. They hit the lead, though, the Bulldogs.
He doesn't want to kick, does he, Stuart Dew, Michael?
No. The Dogs are in front for the first time in Neil Cross. You'll be able to tell me.
The Eagles took the lead at the 19-minute mark of the second term. The Eagles surrendered the lead for the first time since then, as Dew surrenders to the pain in the leg and has come off. Small for tall. Dew coming off, and on comes McKenzie. Ball on the far side of the ground. Meanwhile, and we'll get another ball up just outside 50. The Eagles have done well this quarter, although they have been at times under siege. There's been 6 scoring shots or 6 scores for Centrals. It's just that they've only kicked the 1 goal. In the second term, 6 scoring shots for the Eagles for 5 goals. And there's Stewie Dew cutting a lonely figure at the moment. Bit of a shake of the head.
Possession's dead level at half-time, and they still are, 208 each.
Well, you never know. We might get a draw out of this yet. Weather closing in. Still, it hasn't got as perhaps bleak as what was predicted at one point by our resident weather forecaster, Mark Soderstrom. Ball to ground, three-quarter time now. And the Eagles, well, they trail by 1 point, but they will have the breeze, get it right, Neil, in the final term. It's Central District 7-9-51, the Eagles 8-2-50.
Sunday, it's time to get your footy fix on your dedicated AFL channel, Fox Footy Channel.
On the run from 50, gives it a ride.
All the big game action from Amy Stadium as Port Adelaide Power clash with Carlton.
He's got it!
Digital subscribers press the red button to experience our revolutionary new Fox Footy Active coverage.
And that's got the local fans excited.
Port Adelaide, Carlton from Amy Stadium, Sunday on Fox Footy Channel.
The Toyota Prado VX has hill start assist control, so you can climb at 42 degrees from a standing hill start. Downhill assist control, ABS, and emergency brake assist. And finally, another essential four-wheel drive feature, downhill assist control in reverse. Driver assist technology, only from Toyota.
Every week they meet. 4 old soldiers with yarns aplenty. They've hung up their boots, but the legends live on. You know, they don't breed footballers like they used to.
The Eagles' last win at Woodville against the Bulldogs, round 4 in 1999. They trail by 1 behind. There's Paul Lindsay up against Jason McKenzie. Underway in the final term. McKenzie took it out of the ruck and had a fresh airy and disposed of it cleanly. That's the rule. It's the Matthew Primus rule, they all call it. And Sikalella has been shifted into the midfield to give some grunt in the last term. Long kick, about 60 metres. Kick, drop punt out the back. Swatala can't get it. Well done by Rugolo. Inkster just off a step, kicks it long. McKenzie. Well done, Symes, front and square. Shares it with off to Hyde, who's got Krieg, and Krieg stretches, takes the mark. Dogs would love an early goal to put a bit of pressure on the Eagles. Sibanala runs toward the wing, kicks it long, hoping for a call to mark. Can't take it. Where? Run down by Floriani. Got it away though. Fruin to Hall. Got to give a bit of ground and go to the outer side to Potter. Potter doesn't have much in front of him. Decide to go down the line, honouring the lead of Phillipou, who does good body work. Graham just left it for Sibanala, who dished it off to Gowans, who got it back to Hay. So the Doggies reload. Wobbly old kick by Tyson Hay, but there's Bruin, who's been outstanding across half-back. Got it to Sikalala. Sikalala,
great kick.
Good kick to Spear. All he's got to do is take the mark. Symes wearing him. Let's give him a nudge. Watch it, Bradley. Spear honours the lead by Passador. Can't take the mark. Taken by Phillipou. Good smother. And grabbing it was Graham. Kick out looking for Swatala. Just beat Colville to the ball, and he'll be happy to see that trickle out of bounds. It's just forward of the wing.
I don't know if that was really the right kick there by Spear into the forward line. He put it out in front of the left-hand side of the goals there, and it was 1 on 3 by the time that Passador got to the football there. Sorry, a lot of space on the right-hand side though.
Passador caught one across the head for his trouble too. Stokes getting the ball forward for the Eagles. We'll get another ball up at half forward for the Eagles. Richard Williams coming in, and as I said, Stokes was just feeling his head after that little 3-on-1 clash. Passador being the one, as Toya, well rode. Sikalella finds some space where there really was none. Pops it up. Passador coming hard. Takes the mark. One grab. That'll give him some confidence. And he looks up a little bewildered because it's been a tough return for Mark Passador in the SANFL this afternoon.
Yeah, he hasn't had a lot of it, but he has presented, and he's run under a few footballs. But look, that's all he needs. He just needs a full game under his belt, and he'll be much better for the run. And yeah, not convincing with that mark, but certainly kept his eyes on it and got under it.
So the Eagles' third mark inside 50 today. Centrals have taken 8.
Mark Passador taking his time. 20 goals thus far this season going into this match. He is normally a very accurate kick, but he hasn't played football for 6 weeks.
I think Ron Fuller's move of getting Sickler into the midfield is a very, very good move. And that could just about make the difference here for the Eagles today.
One behind there to Mark Passador. There's the view from goal umpire Cam as Thomas brings it back into play. Long kick. Krieg couldn't take the mark. Well done by Rugolo, who got it to Stokes. Stokes has got a man in short in Toya. Takes the mark in front of Symes. Eagles reload. Luke Toya has been terrific for them today. Passador gave the lead. He ignored Phillipou as well and went further on. Hay knocked it down. Taken by off the hide, whose kick was terrific to Coulter. Just outside his 50, running on James Gowans. Doggies cut through the midfield to Symes. Symes has got no one to kick it to. Just decides to load it up and hope someone will run onto it. That might be Ware. Oh, that's terrific awareness by Ware to knock it to Slade. Now Slade kicks the goal here. It'll be Elijah Ware's goal. He can't. It goes across the face and wobbles. Doesn't go out of bounds. Well done, Fruin. Just wobbles the ball out of half-back. Bello leads in the race. Free kick off the ball against Colville. It'll come back for a push. It'll go to Swatala. Adam Swatala, who recently played his 100th game for the Bulldogs. Will kick it inside 50. Ball holds up in the breeze. Krieg can't take the mark. Taken by Toya. Tumbles along, spiral to Phillipou. Went straight through his fingers. Hopwood got it to Mackenzie. Good turning circle. Not quite the Queen Mary. He got it away to Graham. Graham on the overlap is Krieg. Krieg will go in short, looking for Ware. Can't take it. Well done, Floriani. Front and square. Slade went to ground. Potter's got him nabbed. Westbrook to Fruin. Oh, chopped off by Chris Gowans. Frantic bit of play. At half back for the Eagles. Umpire Mead will have a ball up. 5.5 gone. Scores dead level. What a crackerjack quarter we've got in this last term.
Ball down, it comes to the back of the pack. Through it comes Merriman, high and long to half-back. Inkster with a brilliant mark. Great use of the body. Pinned by Hay, but he gets away eventually. Nothing much forward for him. Certainly no tall target. He'll want to go short and square, you would think. Merriman makes some space to his left, takes his time, and now they've set up Passador on the lead. Inkster goes longer and more direct. Phillipou looked to be held, was held. Umpire called play on. Sibinala punched the ball wide. Little bit of leg work there from Gowans. Eventually got it out to his brother. That was James to Chris. Somehow they work it forward. Sibinala tried to step inside. He's gone twice. Somehow managed to get a hand pass out. Chris Gowans under pressure. Fruin off the ground. Sibinala another possession. Now Krieg and now Coulter just drives it in off the left foot. This will be interesting. From behind, Schooler. Just too much height and the ball just sat there and waited in that breeze. And Schooler was able to come over the top of Hall. Question mark though over the distance as he kicks into the breeze.
I wonder whether he'll do what Mark McKenzie did.
Well, did McKenzie handball off because Hay is the designated kicker. He didn't kick that all that well. The punch came from Fruin. Toya at the front of the pack. Slade is his opposition. He takes it towards the line. Toya will be happy with that. Played for the free kick. Umpire says throw it in.
He held his feet well there. That's what had to happen. Toya held his feet as he went through that football and just kept it in front of him.
Scoreboard in the background. Scores are level. Low-scoring game, but you'd expect that really in the conditions and under the pressure that there's been out there. It's in the Central's forward line, but they have the job in front of them. They're kicking into the breeze in the final quarter.
Scores are level. Marco Bello, kick smothered. Beautiful work by Stokes. Merriman goes to him. There's the Doggies fans. Go, Ben.
Sorry, Mike, I was going to say Sam Phillipou is the guy that really needs to stand up for the Eagles here across centre forward. Started off the game like a house on fire. He had, his 3 goals early. Just gone out of the game a little bit now, so looking for a couple of strong grabs, maybe a couple of goals.
When the game needs to be won, where's your spearhead that's kicked 39 goals for the year? Daniel Shell will get Sodas onto it. Taken by Stokes. Stokes out of his defensive 50. Long spiral torpedo. Good mark and stretched by the boy from Kapunda. In Mackenzie got it to Sibinala. Dogs go forward. Loose on the half-forward line is Bello. Closing him down is Colville. Bello uses his right foot. Up goes Schooler at the back. Elijah Ware kicks a goal. Doggies in front. Oh, Elijah Ware. Could he be the X-factor for the Bulldogs in an unlikely game, an unlikely win, Ben Knights?
He has been good after coming off that wing and being thrown down forward. He's snuck a couple of goals through and just read the crumbs well. I mean, we just saw before when he tapped it over the back of his head, he just has that awareness that so many players seem to... I mean, you can have good players, but then you have good players who've got that awareness that really lifts them to another level. And like you said before, you'd be surprised if he didn't make it into the AFL, but unfortunately the SANFL.
Ball down in the middle. Sorry, Moggy.
Yeah, 11 kicks, 8 handballs, Elijah Ware.
Coulter did well, then turned over the ball with a hand pass. Sikalella wide to his captain in Colville. Couldn't take possession. It comes now to Slade. Slade taken to ground. Coulter follows up. Hand pass wide for Graham. Graham in turn chips one over the top. Looked for Gowans. Didn't find him. Well done by Westbrook chipping in. This side of the ground, he's got Spear in a bit of space. In the middle of the ground, he goes long with the kick. McKenzie favoured by it. Takes the mark for Centrals. Bad option. McKenzie in turn takes the right option. Goes out wide to Slade. Slade back infield to Coulter. Coulter can run with his left leg. Opts to hold up the play. Wants to go back to that side of the ground. Now he's looking around, considering, being told, open up the goals. High and not very long. Spear at the back, takes the mark. Stokes running for him in space. Spear does well. Off the back foot, if you know what I mean. Got it out to Stokes. Collision coming up. Hay and Stokes. Look out. And they both did well, and they came out of it a lot better than Nathan Steinbrenner before. Hay gets the congratulations of his teammates because over the top Inkster was in space had he not been able to stop Matthew Stokes then.
Neil, a quick report from the Central District's medical staff regarding Daniel Shell and Stuart Dew. They said they're both all right and they'll be back on in a minute, which to me, I think there might be some noses growing down there.
Ball back in dispute in the middle of all of it was Inkster. He's taken to ground. I know Nathan Steinbrenner, a teacher, so it's school holidays. 2 weeks he's got off to recover from that knock. Ball on centre wing, slightly to the Eagles' favour, slightly to the Eagles' end. Try it again. Ball down to ground. Culver looking to inspire his team. Off to Floriani, through half forward with the kick. Taking it in nicely was Hopwood, two-time best and fairest at Centrals. Hopwood delivers a hand pass of sorts. Sibanala in under pressure. Got a hand pass away to Symes. In turn to Hay. Was calm. Got it to Gowans. Shut down from behind by McKenzie. Gowans will look back at the umpire and say, I took that mark, sir. And he is. Just a quick word. Chris Gowans not happy with that decision. Nevertheless, it's out of bounds and a throw-in. 6 points the margin. Central's lead.
Quick change by the Eagles. O'Hara onto the ground. McKenzie got rid of it, took it out of the ruck. Slade, Westbrook, Symes didn't look, just threw it on the boot. Merriman normally mops up well. Symes did beautifully. Smothered the ball at the back. It runs to Coulter. Coulter inside 50. Long kick by Coulter. Looking for Schooler. Can he take the mark? No. Stephen Hall, the man over the top. Boundary throw in. What a bit of desperation. Lovely smother by Brad Symes. You love that as a coach.
Was that a smother, Michael? I thought he was going to try and give him the old shirt front there and having to, the ball having to go into him.
The end result was a smother.
It worked beautifully in the end.
Schooler got it down. Rugolo kicked it off the ground. Doggies pushing forward. They want to keep their mantle as top side in the SANFL, taken by Colville, who got it toward Hall. Real finals-like atmosphere at Woodville Oval. Up goes Hopwood, knocks it away from Sikalella. Sikalella, who's a clever player, just off the ground to himself. In comes Graham. Academy Award by Sikalella. Needs to win the hard ball. Didn't quite get it that time. In goes Hopwood, runs it to the line. A little bit of finessing done by Sikalella on the outside.
That's exactly right. And that's where Sikalella has to stick his head over the football there. Now, you saw Steinbrenner do it before and unfortunately get cleaned up by Sikalella. But at that time, Sikalella, number one, playing for the free kick, and number two, not going in and grabbing the football.
Just lost the run of the ball. Graham knocks it down. McKenzie got a good hand on that. And we'll have another ball up. Good crowd in at Woodville Oval today, making plenty of noise, man.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, why wouldn't you come along and support the SANFL? It's been a fantastic day. A little bit windy, we've talked about that all day, but what a great game between 1 and 2 on the ladder, fighting for that top spot. Nothing better.
Fiachi, great tap from O'Hara, puts it up in front of goal, and Phillipou comes to the front of the pack and takes a chest mark. It's that easy. Well, they need him to stand up.
Passador's gone back onto the bench a couple of minutes ago, and they've fallen down across centre forward. That time, the quick snap in, exactly where you need it, top of the square. And Phillipou, will he go back and kick his fourth, I think it is?
Yep. He's got 3 on the board so far. He's taken a long run up. Be proud of this if you're a cricket player. You're going to come in from perhaps 45 metres and kick from only about 30. So Phillipou gets into rhythm and kicks astray, or does he? The fans behind the goals are actually happy, and so is Phillipou eventually. I don't think he was convinced that that was a goal until he saw the signal from the goal umpire. So Sam Phillipou has his fourth. Scores are level again.
Yes, well, scores level. There are 15 or so minutes of football left. You can't ask for anything better than that, Michael Money. I think we are in for an absolute cracker the last 15 minutes. I said it about the last quarter. Nothing has gone untoward. Everything is just going beautifully according to plan. All scores will at the end of the day, though.
4 goals straight. Go, Moggy.
Yep, Sam Phillipou is now the leading goal scorer of the Eagles this season. 21 goals, 3.
21 goals, 3. Outstanding. Scores level. Out of the centre, Rugolo. Got it towards Spear. No faint hearts out there, taken by James Gowans. Tumbles the ball, Slade couldn't get it. Falls over the back to Floriani. Floriani kicks it forward, over the top. Taken by Quentin Graham. He'll look for Swatala up against Colville. Good long kick out of there. Well played. Quentin Graham played the percentages, went for the line.
He did. Lovely kick out in front of a guy for the Eagles, Gavin Colville, who has been outstanding today. Hasn't he made a difference for their team since coming back from injury last year?
Really got a heap of run in the legs at the moment, Gavin Colville. Work rate has been sensational.
25 possessions.
Thanks, Moggy. So too this man to Mackenzie, who really does give it everything, the number 18 for the Bulldogs. There's Ronnie Fuller. That is not... Oh, what sort of a look is that? That's a pensive move.
Perplexed?
Perplexed? Worried? Quite no. Ball knocked down. Westbrook taking the ground. Doggies all over him. Another ball up. 15 and a half. Make that 16 minutes gone in the last term.
This is certainly where the coaches earn their money. On a day like this, where you know, do you throw a move? Do you leave it as is? What do you do next, just to make that slight difference?
What you do during the week is go and get your blood pressure checked and make sure that you're okay. There's Roy. I don't think Roy will have too much problem. I think he's got the lowest blood pressure of any of the coaches in the league. Roy Laird.
Calm in a crisis.
Very calm. No one can get clean possession. Toya. Boundary throw in, just a game of inches at the moment. And the old cliche, arm wrestle comes into it, Ben. That's what it is at the minute.
It is. Look at Lucky Toya's jumper there. His arms are nowhere near that big.
Ball to ground. You get another throw up. Just in the lull at the moment. Umpire Anthony Mead coming in. The Bulldogs, you must remember, kicking against a breeze which is probably worth 3 or 4 goals at least. So they're up against it. They were leading only by a point at three-quarter time. Ronnie Fuller doesn't appear to be watching the play as it is unfolding on the far side of the ground at the moment. And again, we'll get another throw in. Lots of interested spectators, a lot of tension on the faces around the ground. Ball forward for the Eagles. Cicolello goes to ground. Now he's in trouble. No, surrounded by players, and eventually Hay makes the appropriate appeal to the umpire for another ball up. Eagles fans there, just a little concerned, a half smirk perhaps. Still, it's in dispute. That can't be a mark. It only went about 14 yards or less, 14 metres or less. Still, it's in dispute. Still the spectators enjoying the action. Pretty cool afternoon here at Woodville. It started all right, but it's closed in the weather. Mackenzie out of the pack, good hand pass to Swatala, goes down the line, sensibly umpire rules, that's okay. We'll get another throw in. A game of inches or centimetres if you prefer, as Michael Maney mentioned before. And as I mentioned, it is quite cool here at Woodville. Doggies fans making the journey from Elizabeth this afternoon. Mackenzie out of the pack. Toya, great hand pass. Colville hand pass. Westbrook just taken to ground. Ware was clever. And now they clear it from the back. Running is Thomas. Twice best on ground in grand final rematches. Thomas just can't get a handle. Finally, Merriman presses him. It goes over the line. Merriman has a word to Paul Thomas. Father Jamie played 124 games for Central District. And Andrew Merriman has just come to the SANFL this season from Geelong in the VFL.
Are we headed for another close one? Remember Simon Arnott at this ground a couple of years ago, kicking a goal after the siren, or right on the siren, to sink the Eagles. They had that in the back of their mind as Sikalala boots it forward. Phillipou lays it off to Spear. Spear couldn't quite handle it. He just goes to ground. In goes Krieg to off to Hyde. Plenty of pressure there by the Eagle forwards. Taken by Inkster. Here comes Inkster. Throws it on the left boot. A tumbling ball. McKenzie! Will he be paid the mark? Umpire said no. Taken by Graham. What's your decision? Ben Knight shakes his head. Thought he might have had just enough of it. Short kick. Spots up Chris Gowan.
I'm shaking my head because he had to take that. Jeez, he had to take that mark. Oh. Definitely not a mark, but
really good call. Good call by the umpire. To the outer side. Piarchi held without the footy by Thomas. Umpire said he was over it. Off to Hyde. It's the handball down the line. Thomas takes it over. Emotions high at Woodville Oval. Scores locked together, 57 apiece. As we tick into 20 minutes, we're into red time at the moment. Into time on. Up goes O'Hara down to Westbrook. Away to Powell. Powell from outside 50. Loads up. A long goal! No! Through from behind. Eagles are in front. What a kick by Powell from 60.
Great awareness by Stokes as he just gave the handball over the back there. And as we saw on goal umpire Cam, not missing by much.
There's not going to be very much time on. There's only been 2 goals to kick this quarter.
And we are into time on now. 1 point the margin. The Eagles lead it. Michael Maney raising some ghosts of the past that Central's kicked a goal through Simon Arnott after the siren a couple of years ago here to beat the Eagles. Rugolo thumps it forward. Back inside 50 for the Eagles. And we'll just have a quick look at the weather radar, courtesy of mobile phone, that the rain is just starting to come in off the coast. We're in for an interesting night at the Rugby Union tonight. Australia playing the Pacific Islanders. That'll be in heavy conditions. Right now the conditions aren't too bad. Hopwood over the ball for Centrals. There's a free kick off the ball, taken high and late, or taken at least late, was Slade. He'll get a free kick. He nurses his arm. There's something wrong with that. Keep an eye on it as he goes to Ware. He's in the forward pocket for a while. Now he's down back. Ware's under siege at the moment. Coming after him was Inkster. Ware goes to ground after kicking the ball wide. Eagles will want to get possession and maybe get it out of bounds or maybe get a sealer. Here's Inkster inside 50, snaps it towards goal. 2-on-1. Hopwood takes the mark for Centrals. They'll get another opportunity to clear from back there. Piarchi looking for perhaps the reversed free kick. Maybe got one high. Ware drives it outside 50. Long kick towards centre wing. Ball out of bounds. Eagles happy with that. 21 minutes and counting, almost to 22. Toya, he's had enough for the afternoon by the looks. Off the ground, on comes Passador again. Maybe he can add something that will just seal this match for the Eagles. They lead by a point.
Boundary throw in. In goes Lindsay. Ware collars him. Time running out now for the Doggies. They've got to win it.
Just to let you know, the rain has just started to fall here, so probably an opportune time for the Eagles.
Will the rain be a factor? Swatala out of the congestion, just dips his side an extra 30 metres. Boundary throw in, 22 and a half gone.
Just mentioned our friends at Port Lincoln that had this weather closing in, what was it, 90 minutes ago?
That's right. It'll take long to scoot down to Adelaide. Lindsay, Inkster, he's looked dangerous in this last term, Tim Inkster, but he hasn't been able to provide something really special for us. We thought Luke Powell did a moment ago with a long behind, and that put the Eagles in front.
Should be popular with the spectators behind her.
Absolutely. That's a fairly large umbrella. Taken by Stokes. Stokes, Passador at the front. Oh, Quentin Graham has been terrific in this final term. Quentin Graham comes to this side of the ground. The kick needs to be perfect, and here's to Sibanala. He's off. He knows times on the wing.
Right chase.
Run down by Sikalala. Surely a free kick. Umpire doesn't pay it. And getting back, Sikalala's in trouble.
Great chase for Sikalala.
Got the cramp. So both Toya and Sikalala. Toya off the ground. Sikalala still there. Eagles won't mind this. Just a hold-up play for a moment.
And my frantic hand signal actually was, Michael, that if that didn't secure Sikalola the 3 votes today, that little effort was quite brilliant.
Glad to see that wasn't a rude gesture, Neil. Taken by Powell. Powell kicks it long, inside 50, hoping for a mark. Graham again. He has done particularly well. Put his hands on the football. They kick to the outer side this time. Powell, who's had some important touches. Also, this man, Colville, couldn't quite get through. Swatala. Phillipou's got him. 24 minutes gone, final term. Has time run out, Ben Knights?
It certainly has not run out. No, it certainly has not run out. But Passador has to provide more than that. He has to at least bring it to ground. Give the Eagles on ballers who have been so good today something to work with. He can't let Graham jump over the top of him, as we see it bolted up again. Umpire coming into one of these customary bounces. A little bit of a rainbow, showing that definitely a little bit of rain has fallen.
Ball's back into play. Fiachi takes it towards the line. Eagles have been doing this for quite a while, and so have Centrals. They've been content to bottle it up. When Centrals was in front, they were quite happy to defend in that way. Now the Eagles just looking to scramble the ball, maybe into the forward 50. They lead by a point. A goal, you would think, would be all they'd need. Here's Stokes, approaches 50. He can kick it from outside 50. You would think Stokes doesn't have to. Goes inside 50, but the kicker was slightly smothered. It was touch play on. Brilliant back. It comes to Phillipou. Seals a victory for the Eagles. 5 for Phillipou. And you would think that's it. At the 25-minute mark, Sam Phillipou snatches victory for the Eagles.
Sam Phillipou making an impact. He started off the game beautifully. He was pretty quiet through the third quarter. And now returning with 2 this quarter. Great spoil, great awareness to bring the ball back into play. Just like I said before with Passador, didn't do that with those couple of grabs. Brought the ball back down to the ground. Gave the Eagles on ballers there. You see Passador fighting with Phillipou. And that's a couple of times Philippou's picked it up. Nice snap, great finish, and the Eagles looking good.
I think we're going to run a book on when he's going to miss next, Sam Phillipou. That's 5 straight. The 22-3, taken by Krieg. Time running out for the Doggies. Kick floats into the arms of James Gowans. James Gowans kicks it long. He'll need a mark by Cowan. He can't take it. Ware's there. Well done, Hall. Handball over the top to Rugolo. Closing him down is James Gowans. He's got him. He's got him. Umpire. Didn't play it. Taken by James Gowans to Ware. Ware might make it 1 point. He runs away from Bruin. Ware just wobbles it through. Ball A behind, not through by Stephen Hall. Hit the post. Ware just got the wobbles up right at the end and couldn't quite get a free kick at it.
Isn't it great to see a young bloke back himself in though and think, yeah, I can outrun this guy.
Will it be a draw? I didn't pick it.
Ball back into play. Floriani kicks long towards the wing. The Eagles are wanted out of bounds. Centrals bring it back in. Slade's hand pass across to Swatala. That could have been a siren. I haven't heard it, but it's there. The players go up. Have the umpires heard it? They have. Final siren. It's all over. 6 points. The Eagles win it. What a clash here at Woodville. Fantastic match it was. The Eagles 10-4-64. Central 8-10-58. And no doubt the celebrations will go on for some time at Oval Avenue. A fantastic result for the Eagles. They go back to the top of the table and they win their 11th game in a row. They lost all 3 times to Centrals last year. This season, they've beaten Centrals twice. Once out at Elizabeth in round number 3. They won by 8 points. And this time, a fantastic 6-point victory. The Eagles 10-4-64. Central District 8-10-58.